Truly loving how the fat acceptance movement allows people to grow, because it's not only teaching people that health and body size are not direct corollaries, which is true, but also the bigger point, which is that health is not a requirement for people to be deserving of respect or equality.
Yo-yo and hello, my name is Lydia, and on today's episode of my 25-pound yo-yo, we will be talking about respect. What is it, why we give it, and who do we owe it to? Hannah seems to think that we dole out respect based on someone's health, but I don't think that's it at all. I think it's based on their character. And like it or not, asking the question, are you healthy, does give the indication of character to some people. You see, the question really isn't, are you healthy? It's more like, are you accountable enough to take responsibility for your actions so that you're not a drain on society and your friends and family? Because those are the qualities in which people base whether or not to give or not give respect. There's a lot to unpack here, but before we get into Hannah's TikTok, I think we need to learn a little bit more about respect. So why don't we watch this next clip, then come back and discuss. What is respect? Respect is an admiration or regard for someone or something. Respect is earned, not given. There are levels of respect. For example, you can have respect for all human lives, but still not respect how a person lives. Likewise, you may hold someone in your life in the highest amount of respect, as they exemplify everything that you strive to be. Why do we give respect? We give respect to acknowledge others and their contributions. We give respect to strangers by opening doors and saying hello. And we give respect to our colleagues by listening to their comments and criticisms. But some people still garner more respect than others. So why is that? They have a strong locus of control. They exhibit a sense of control over their lives. They are organized, punctual, and considerate. And this is exemplified with how they work, how they interact with friends, the strength of their close relationships, and how they care for themselves. They are honest. They tell the truth and have a track record of telling the truth. They don't wear different masks around different people. They are authentic. They are responsible. All people have responsibilities, whether they be personal, social, or civil responsibilities. Someone who is personally responsible tries their best to make themselves a priority. Someone who is socially responsible is courteous in their interactions with others, shows up on time for events, is dependable in team situations, and rarely monopolizes conversations. And someone that is civically responsible helps keep their town clean, cuts their lawn, pays their taxes, votes, and does not take advantage of services and social programs if not needed. They are accountable. Everyone makes mistakes, and we as humans like it when people can admit that they are wrong. Humility is a characteristic that garners respect, just as boastfulness dispels it. So when a person exhibits high levels of these characteristics, we respect them? Yes, and when people have lower levels of these, we lose respect for them. But all humans deserve a base level of respect. So, now that we know a little bit more about respect, let's hear what Hannah has to say.
Truly loving how the fat acceptance movement allows people to grow, because it's not only teaching people that health and body size are not direct corollaries, which is true, but also the bigger point, which is that health is not a requirement for people to be deserving of respect or equality. We hear this issue come up all the time in conversations around fatness, where people say things like, well, so long as you're healthy, which is basically to say that if a fat person does not have the privilege of health, then they deserve abuse and discrimination, whereas I, as a healthy fat person, don't. Which is just nonsense. Understanding this is important because it's extremely tempting in the face of prejudice to cling to the health that we experience and try to present it as a representation of our moral value in an attempt to try to alleviate some of the pain that fat phobia brings. But when we do that, we are unintentionally, or sometimes intentionally, taking fat people who do not experience health and throwing them under the bus.
Let's start with health being a prerequisite to respect. Now, as I said in the beginning, I don't see that at all. Health is not the prerequisite, But there are characteristics that a person could have that lead to ill health that makes a person respect them less. Let's look at it from a pie chart perspective. Now, if we have the whole pie and that's all the respect that a person has to give, how is it divvied up? Now, remember, respect is personal. It is not something you are entitled to. It is given at the discretion of the person giving it, meaning it's in alignment with their values, not yours, their values. If I look at the type of respect that I give to people, it's based around what I value. So those slices could be life, reliability, family, social interactions, ethics, ambition. Those are the things that I value. So I give respect out of the things that I value. Not one person excels at everything. I have never had a full pie chart for anyone, especially not myself. I don't exactly admire or regard my sleeping patterns or work schedule. I can admire and respect your work ethic. I can admire and respect your philanthropic efforts. I can admire and respect your dedication to the environment, but still not admire and respect your lifestyle. Because I say that I have tremendous respect for people that are in incredible shape, that dedicate their time and effort to eating healthy and exercising and actually living healthy lives, it would be incredibly hypocritical for me to say that I also respect the lifestyle of obese people. So yes, if you are obese, I do have less respect for you. But that is less respect, meaning you don't feel the respect of lifestyle slice of the pie that I give to other people. That does not mean I can't respect you in other ways. I don't respect anyone in all ways. I don't respect myself in all ways. Because if I did, that would mean that I was perfect, and I'm not. For me personally, responsibility is huge in the respect pie. People that are responsible to themselves, their friends and family, their job, their community, they garner huge amounts of respect with me. And not taking care of yourself, being an imposition on society over something that you have control over, and leaving a huge carbon footprint makes me respect you less. Then Hannah takes the statement that if you're not worthy of respect and equality, that means abuse and discrimination. How did we get there? Me not giving respect does not mean abuse and discrimination. Remember, respect is regard and admiration. If I don't admire the way that you live your life, I am not being abusive or discriminatory. I just don't admire it. This is one of the biggest problems I have with fat acceptance, that if you don't love us, you hate us. No, that's not it at all. I can have respect for your right to exist. I can have respect for your right to be in this world. I can have respect and be courteous to you without having respect for your lifestyle. And me not having respect for your lifestyle does not equate to abuse and discrimination. The last point that Hannah made there was about clinging to your health status as a healthy fatty so that you don't throw other unhealthy fatties under the bus. Now, I agree and disagree with her here. She sees it as being morally superior to your fellow fat people, whereas I see it as lying to yourself. Because you are probably not a whole lot better off than those that have already succumbed to their obesity and developed illnesses. If you actually think that you are more healthy, well, you're just putting your head in the sand. So I agree with Hannah that clinging to your health status does throw others under the bus. But I just think that Hannah should prepare to tuck and roll too. The real reason why fat activists struggle with respect is because they are dishonest about health at every size, they're irresponsible personally, socially, and civically, and don't take accountability for their actions. These are things about their character, has nothing to do with their health. And as for a regular fat person, if your behavior exhibits a lack of personal, social, or civic responsibility, people will lose respect for you. Respect is all about the values that the person has that is giving it. You are not entitled to it. The real question that a lot of people are asking isn't, are you healthy? It's, are you responsible? Because health is not a prerequisite to respect. But for a lot of people, responsibility is. The other part of this statement that Hannah was making was about equality and access to services. You know, things like back surgery.
But that the friction between two of my vertebrae had caused a fracture. So I had a broken back. And I was like, got it. When can we schedule surgery? But he responded and said, well, the problem is your weight. Unfortunately, we're going to need you to lose some weight before we would be willing to do surgery on you.
But to me, if the patient doesn't meet the prerequisites for said surgery but demands it anyways, that's entitlement, not equality. But I'm going to have to save that one for next week. So until next time, yo-yo and let's go.